Flat Planet is an idea and a set of objectives, which is to create things which are fun, do some good and make some money, and actually have a positive impact in the world without trying to go out there and saying we are saving the world like Gordon Brown. And we are relatively, as I say, we're relatively flexible about how we achieve that. So we would like to have some businesses, and they are businesses that we will call Flat Planet, that will be where I will stand behind the promises we make there. As in the food business that we've just launched. It might be eco-travel, or it might be organic clothing, but they will be Flat Planet businesses. And where you see the Flat Planet brand, they will be businesses that I will stand behind and say, I will be able to keep my promises because I control those businesses. Then hopefully there'll be some businesses that we invest in. So I'm talking to a really interesting good chocolate business, which I won't be controlling, but I will be investing in. And so I'd like those businesses not to be called Flat Planet, because I don't want people to think that I control their experience there. And thirdly, I would just like there to be all sorts of businesses, be it Blue Water, all sorts of similar like-minded businesses who are trying to do good and lovely at the same time. And I'd like to be a rallying call, a standard bearer for all of those sorts of businesses as well. So that's what Flat Planet is. I think I have more ambition than talent. so I tend to sort of take things on and then try and work out how I'm going to do them afterwards. So I have no idea at the moment how I'm going to juggle both things, apart from the fact that Henry runs Leon as the CEO. So I don't have, I guess, if you like, the responsibility of running Leon day to day the way that Henry does. And although I keep trying to tempt Henry to come and work with me in Flat Planet, he's very, very disciplined about focusing on Leon, which is fantastic. And I think I have slightly more of a semi-creative, semi-chaotic approach to sometimes the way I do business, and that has some good sides and it has some bad sides. Some cultures only don't have a name for orange. They only have the name for red, whereas they might have 10 words for green, and we only call it green. And I think that sometimes language doesn't have enough vocabulary to describe the emotion of opening a new restaurant. And I think we should create a new word. Let's call it Flat Planet. Flat Planeted. There is basically it's not excitement, it's not fear, it's not nervousness. There's this weird sort of semi-numb, semi-excited, semi-nervous sort of feeling that Henry and I get, or certainly I get when I open a restaurant. And you have to be extremely positive and mind host at the same time having this radar out there for the 20, 30, 40 things that you can see going wrong. And so it's this amazing mix of positivity that you need and excitement, and this amazing mix of sort of pessimism and skepticism that you need as you're launching a business. And it's that weird combination of having to combine those two sets of feelings. I think that there is definitely a sense that I want Flat Planets to have the flexibility that Virgin has. The one thing I think I'd like to be careful of is, and I am way behind Richard Branson, as you know, in terms of where I am and the development, but I think it must be stressful for Richard Branson to own minority stakes in businesses and yet have his name associated with the trust and the experience. So I'm pretty sure there are businesses like Virgin Gyms, I'm not sure, but I think so, where you go up and there's a big photograph of Richard and there's his signature on the wall. I'm not sure he always owns those businesses outright or has enough controlling stake in those businesses to be making those promises. And I think he's an amazing person, but I don't think I could live with that. I don't think I could live with having businesses where someone else runs them and yet my name is associated with them and I'm almost making a promise on my behalf. So I don't think we'll ever be as big as Virgin, because I don't think I would be comfortable having that experience where people all over the world are enjoying Virgin, but I'm not controlling their experience. I haven't got the ownership of those businesses to control them. So, but having said that, I do want us to be a brand that stands for fun, profit, and doing some social good. And therefore, I do want to think across sectors. I do want to not just think like a restaurateur. I want to think like maybe a tour operator. I want to be able to think like a clothing person and to work across those sectors so that we combine the thinking that one sector can bring to the other. So to that extent, I would definitely like it to be a cross-sector, yeah. First of all, they have to be businesses that are aspirational in terms of doing something very interesting for the customer and being lovely and making a positive difference in the world. And I think that it's almost like think about it as not a dragon's den, but a kind of angel's den, in terms of, I'm not going to bite your head off, I'm not going to breathe fire at you, I'm going to try and understand whether your business is going to both make a positive impact to maybe our environment or the way we live, or feeding the human spirit. So how is your business going to really genuinely feed the human spirit, not just fleece someone with a high margin product? But at the same time, I'm looking for something which is sustainable in its growth. So something which is going to maintain an unfair advantage in its field, and something which we together are going to have fun doing. Because I think if you look at the businesses that have survived the recession, they are businesses that are run by people that enjoy what they do. And so I'm looking for people who love what they do, and we are going to work well together to create something that is special. And that's what I would like Flat Planet businesses to be.